Hello guys, welcome back to King Potato Gaming. Today we are here playing Stanley Parable 2. So this game is basically, it's very fun guys, so you should enjoy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So basically he's a
Stanley
co-worker,
decided to go to the
guys.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And
No
you
matter
can
how
either say
hard
yes
Stanley
to
looked,
it.
he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
See, you can either listen or do the opposite. So like, I don't know, you can go to a different room if you wanted to. If the door's open, then you can go into a room. So we're gonna go to here, is it?
When
To
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left or right, guys? I'll go right. I'm a bad
This
boy.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did Stanley do that?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Or did he? Yeah, okay. I have to. Going straight ahead, guys. Trust the completionist instincts. Okay. There will be a reward fighting them all. Yes, I can do that. And guys, if you can hear a bit of noise, it's because Zach is here too.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Stanley did do that. Why is the boss's office so big?
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Okay, 2845,
But of course,
guys.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2, 2, 8, 4, 5. Is that it, guys?
Yet incredibly,
Yes,
by
it is.
simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct
Oh, guys,
code
what's
by
happening?
sheer luck. Amazing.
Ooh.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Do I walk across? There's nothing back here. If I go here, alright? Down, is it? I wanna go up. Dang, I wanna go up. Yeah, I wanna go up. Where? Hey guys, where are we going? We are loading down.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that in a different one, guys. I may go down it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Ooh, guys.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, what we're gonna do, guys, there's 2 buttons I can press. On or off. Let's choose on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
I'm doing so this video. I'm doing Stanley Parable 2.
Time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Wait. What?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine.
Yeah.
I set you free.
After you do number 1,
Of course, that was merely
it gives you number 2 for free.
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I've gone 5.
Dear
There's
me,
been
what's
meant
the
to be
matter,
6 of
Stanley?
them.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did
What?
you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
I've
Running
gone
from button
on.
to button,
It's 5, isn't
screen to
it?
screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That
Oh,
timer
guys.
isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to
I'm
control
going,
this
guys.
world, that's
We'll try and
fine.
turn this off.
But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every
Bye-bye,
second of your
guys.
inevitable life from the
I'm
moment
blowing
we
up.
fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
There we go, guys. That was one ending. I think that was the first ending. That's a restart, is it? It restarts, I think. Okay, it restarted.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay,
Stanley
guys.
decided to go to the
Who's
meeting
the
room.
bucket?
Perhaps he had simply the
Picking the
good
bucket
old
up.
bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling
Bucket.
adventure together.
I got my bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
No.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the
No,
bucket knew
I
all
remembered
along?
it, Mr. C.
Was the bucket guiding
It's an
him?
answer there.
Yes, this is certainly the most
Come on,
logical
bucket.
explanation.
Help me out here. My bucket will save me, guys. Put my hand down the bucket. I'm gonna name this bucket the bucket. Okay, that's just a name. The bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an
Actually,
unknown fate.
his name's John.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
John the bucket.
Soothing
No.
him, comforting him,
I'm
reassuring
gonna name
that
him
in this
Jeff the
darkest moment
bucket.
of
Come on, Jeff.
uncertainty, he would
And
be
help me out here,
alright.
Jeff.
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything
Thank
will
you.
be fine.
Yeah, Jeff the bucket. He has a name, you know.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large
We're
door
gonna say
that
no, are we,
read
bucket?
Mind Control Facility.
We're saying no, are we, bucket? We're gonna turn it off.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I wonder, Jeff. What could it be? Dun dun dun. Okay, Jeff, I'm gonna skip to the next room.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley
Whoa,
nearly
Jeff.
dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it
It
that
is
everything would be
okay,
fine.
Jeff. You haven't got to cry, bro. In the comments, tell Jeff it's okay. We will survive this.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had
No!
the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
No
What
bucket.
kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Fair point.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
It's okay, don't worry, bucket.
No!
Come on, Jeff.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never!
Yeah,
He
never.
squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yep, the bucket's the best person, guys.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality
Okay, the
of his
bucket
past
says we're going to say
began to
no.
sink in,
Jeff says we're
Stanley
going to turn it
decided
off.
that this machinery would never again...
We turned it off, Jeff.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Bucket?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
We
Freedom was
survived.
now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh, we've reloaded again, guys. This time, I'm ditching the bucket.
All of his co-workers were
There
gone.
is no bucket
What
this
could
time.
it mean?
It's
Stanley
no
decided
bucket.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
No
had simply
bucket, I'm not
missed a
picking it
memo.
up. I'm not picking the bucket up.
When
So
Stanley
left,
came to a set of two
we're gonna say
open
yes to
doors,
everything, and then
he
we're
entered
gonna
the door on his
say no
left.
to everything, guys. Let's go, guys. Gotta go.
Coming to a
Upstairs.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's
Stepping into his manager's
2845.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay. Stanley did do that. And Stanley turned. And Stanley went down in the elevator, guys. Without his bucket Jeff, because his bucket Jeff ruined everything. I'm gonna go without the bucket this time. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm leaving Jeff. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
Yeah, we know.
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes, I did. I'm very strong, Stanley is. He's a very strong man, he is. He's a bodybuilder, he is.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay, we're gonna skip again.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Yeah, it's not true, guys.
Really
it's
been
not
under
true.
someone's
I
control
hope so.
all this time? Was this
I
the
hope it's
only
not
reason
true.
he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never,
It was
guys.
unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly
it possible?
spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Let's go.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled
We
with
got this, Stanley.
emotions.
Come on, Stanley,
Happy
we got
or
this.
sad or content.
I'm
Walking,
gonna say no.
eating,
We're gonna
working,
be free,
all of it
Stanley.
monitored and
We have got the
commanded
bucket
from
this
this
time.
very place.
We will be
And
free.
as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would...
Turned it off. Are we done it, guys? We're in the dark. Hey, music.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
He
He
won.
had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
We gotta go, Stanley.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
Yeah.
a feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah. Stanley was happy, guys. Now, let's do everything wrong, shall we? Because we feel like it. So we're gonna get the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, bucket.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfect. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
So a little relaxed, guys. Ah,
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
did he? My stand did
No,
not do that.
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay. Well, a good job, Bucket.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Dark room, go.
Now pick
Telephone.
up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
You know what I said? I said no. I answered it. What is it, guys?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to
Is that
believe the
my house?
bucket could speak to him.
Hi, Bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Back to where?
I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It
No.
can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
So what are we doing now, guys? First,
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No, 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 no,
Hey, it's
no,
my
no,
bucket.
no, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps
Oh,
if I
bucket. You're
had the
too
bucket, this would
kind.
be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Maybe it's killing all the other utensils. Good job,
Stanley,
bucket.
give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Okay, close our eyes. Okay, close our eyes. Go back to work, Stanley. Oh, is it over? I like the bucket. He was very nice. Ah,
How
rats.
long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's the
And
place
here
to
it
be,
was.
guys.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nah, Stanley did not do that. He
No,
bothered to.
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of
Whoa.
himself and the bucket, his dearest friend.
I jumped down.
So
Did
he
I
threw
die or
himself
what?
to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply
Oh.
touching.
I did not mean to do that, guys. Oh well. Let's try that
Stanley
again.
knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was
Did
only
it?
a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Ah, the embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But
Yeah, I
Stanley
took
had
him to go
felt the
this way
bucket
because we're
calling
just a
to him,
rebel
telling
today.
him that the employee lounge was simply the
So I
place
repeat
to
the game,
be.
looking for and get like a bad ending.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
We're going in
Stanley
this
took
room,
the door
guys.
on his
Just
left
kidding, we're
to
never
go
going
back
in.
to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course,
Guys,
because
I'm gonna
buckets
drop
can't talk.
down.
But Stanley chose
gonna
not
drop
to
down,
think about this
guys.
obvious fact.
Drop!
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Go in here, guys. What's down here?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Aw.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Stepped in, guys. Is this
Now
a
then,
bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test
TV
scenarios,
show.
and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple
Okay.
enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay,
Okay.
let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh, what?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes. Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
A what? I'm gonna say no to the next question, guys.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No. Am I right?
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
A what? It's rigged, guys. It's rigged.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
If you see that's a bucket now.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
Yay.
To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Tractor's gone. What's next, guys?
Is this a bucket?
No, it's a tractor. The tractor, isn't it?
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Excuse me, sir. How is that a bucket? That's a little tractor coming out.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Please be a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Yay.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
No.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
No. Bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket?
Yes.
Oh God, I had no idea. How could...
Whoa.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
No. Okay, guys. So that was
Stanley knew
cool.
the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
No, right is always
Stanley
right.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
There it is.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
No, bucket.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yeah, we have to go this way. Okay, guys, we're gonna go to the meeting room. There's nothing here, as we know from last time. I've got my handy bucket. Going
Coming to a
down.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked
Let's
upstairs
go
to
up the
the
stairs this
boss's
time, guys. I'm
office.
gonna change it next time.
Stepping into his manager's
Oh
office,
my god.
Stanley was once again
And
stunned
this code's
to
too
discover
easy.
not an indication of
2,
any human life.
8, 4,
Crushed by the
5.
weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah, you
Was
did.
it that the bucket knew all along?
It was the bucket,
Was
he
the
knew.
bucket guiding him?
Yes.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, we're gonna go down with the bucket, guys. We're going down with the bucket and we're having a good time. It's just so Jeff. We're aiming as one Jeff. Yes, go.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
We're gonna say
Mind
yes with the
Control
bucket.
Facility.
We're gonna let the mind control say yes. Will it explode? What will happen?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I'm gonna try and say no. I'm gonna go in. And when you say no,
Monitors jumped
you just
to
get
life,
stuck.
and Stanley nearly
We're gonna
dropped
say
the bucket in
yes.
shock.
I'm gonna see what the guy
Everyone in
says.
the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears
No,
as
Jeff,
Stanley
don't cry.
cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the
This time,
operation.
guys, we're going
Controls labeled with
to
emotions, happy or
facility
sad or content.
hour. I'm gonna say
Walking,
yes with the
eating,
bucket.
working, all
I will
of
do
it
what the bucket
monitored and
says.
commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Edge.
Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
The name goes.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
No. Well, I guess that's
I
over,
can't
guys.
wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I think there's one more ending we can do, guys. I'm gonna try that ending. Because if you see, I'll show you now, guys.
Coming to a
When you go up,
staircase,
there's
Stanley
a
walked
door.
upstairs to his boss's office.
The door that says escape. I'm gonna try and do that.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Oh,
Kill
thanks.
surprise.
Thanks. Gonna turn. Gonna go forwards. Down. This is gonna take a long time, guys. Why does this lift take so long?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
I do think
door
I've got
that read
Stanley
Mind
Parable
Control
1. See,
Facility.
escape. I haven't got Stanley
Although this
Parable 1.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall,
I don't think I have
Stanley would
Stanley
meet his
Parable
final
1.
death.
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
We are falling, guys. Wow. Okay,
As the machine
we're
whirred into
okay.
motion and Stanley was inched
We are okay
closer
so
and
far,
closer
guys.
to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
So what
Stanley
happens?
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped
Oh no.
forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps
Oh no.
his death was of no great
Let me
loss,
out.
like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he
I'm
resigned
going,
and
guys.
willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye bye, guys. What? What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly
Oh.
into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Okay, we gotta go through the store, guys. Going through the store, it says the Stanley Parable. So we're gonna check everything out. Is there a bucket in this one?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? Stanley was never dead. Stanley was always alive. He will live in our bodies forever. Stanley is an amazing person, actually.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it.
I ran out. I did not like that room. Okay, we're gonna go up. Okay, there's different endings. Countdown room, yeah, I've done that. There's ending. I know that's in Stanley Parable 1. Ending levers, yeah. I've never done that one before, guys. Trailers. How else can we go? Got a countdown desk. What? It's changing. The monitor room elevator. That's where we came in from. We got Stanley's office. Stanley's office. Stanley's office. Is it a bucket? Why have I no buckets? A telephone ending. Remember that. The meeting room, yes. We remember that. I don't know what we do now, guys. From Lance Parkin, Sergeant, I've been burning quite. Hey! No, just can't read that all the time, guys. Yeah, I can't read that. I know James is, where anyone is. I don't know how Stanley gets to that one. So Stanley Parable 1s. I think that's the end. Okay, what do I do? I can't tell what do I do, guys. Do I have to go back into a void? Where the void is? The thing was all the boss's offices. I don't know how you get all of these guys. I may play Stanley Parable 1, but I've only got Stanley Parable 2 right now. I think that's the end, guys. I think I'll see you in the next video. I'm not too sure what is going on here. I'm in like a big loop. I find a way out. It's not in this room. Ah. Guys, I'm going to end it here. I think I have to reset my character. Oh, here. Here's the way out.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Click the
Can you
button.
see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps
What?
not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh. I'm being crushed now, I
Listen to
think.
me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
As long as you
No.
move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Bye-bye. I think that was the end, guys. R.I.P. Stanley. Wow, why is the bucket here?
Not
Bucket's
everyone
here.
is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door.
I saw his room has changed. Hasn't it, guys? I think we have to end it now, to be honest. Think I gotta end it. Let me just go down and try
Coming to
this last
Stanley's,
ending.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And we did not. Stanley said, nah, bro.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during
Hey
work
guys,
hours. He might
this may
fired
be a
from there.
1 hour
And in
long
such a
video.
competitive
So,
economy, why had he taken that
I'm
risk?
sorry if it's too
All
long
because
for
he
you
believed
guys.
everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then,
But,
something occurred
salute.
to Stanley.
Salute, guys.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at
I
the
can't go
bucket in his
backwards.
arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
No. Guess Stanley's gone, guys.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She
Okay.
arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
Oh, no.
Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
She backflipped. Well, guys, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed Stanley
All of
Parable
his
2,
co-workers
I
were
will get
gone.
number
What
1.
could it mean?
So,
Stanley decided to
if
go
you
to the meeting room.
enjoyed,
Perhaps
then
he
comment
had
on this
simply missed a
video
memo.
and sub. But until next time, bye!